Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Now, I'm on a new laptop because mine exploded yesterday. Again, if you're new to cryptocurrency and you want to learn more, hit that subscribe button. So, I'll talk about it briefly. I was doing this video on Friday for a premiere on Saturday. Today's Saturday, I'm going to put this out tomorrow, okay? Just so you understand. Ultimately, I wanted to try and do an AMA and I was about 20 minutes through the video. It's a long video because there's 26 questions. And my laptop just went boom, it just exploded. So the hard drive has failed completely, so I'm really cheesed off about it. So I'm on the girlfriend's laptop currently. I'm also using, I don't have it with me, but a 10-year-old MacBook. It's almost as old as cryptocurrency itself. It's crazy. So my website sort of browsing, my charting is done on the oldest computer known to man. And my computer down here on the floor, ready to be launched right out that window at a really high speed, is due to go for repair on the 21st, and I'll get it back on the 30th. So I will be doing videos, don't worry. I just got to nick my girlfriend's laptop while she's at work. Simple as that. So let's get into it. AMA, ask me anything. 26 questions, a lot of questions. I'm not going to go too brief into it. I don't want to get too diverted because this computer isn't the best. And ultimately, I want to try and keep it short, sweet, but I'll try and just talk, okay? So you'll get some good value off this one. There's some outstanding questions. I'm going to say it now. There's some great questions. So if you want to learn more about cryptocurrency, you're probably going to get a few elements of nuggets here because a spade's a spade to me. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's start. Right, let's go. Amazing that my laptop has completely died, but nonetheless, here we are. Ask me anything. Where do you see BTC in 3 years? 3 years' time could be the end of the bull market, in honest opinion. I think I mentioned in the video on Friday that we're looking likely to start an adoption kind of wave up, a speculation of, oh, people are going to start using it, companies, this, that, and the other. It'll probably do very well. But I also think in 3 years' time, 2022 regions, it may be a bear market, maybe, I don't know. But I think adoption-wise, it'll be totally different. I think it'll be a lot easier to acquire. It'll be a lot better and easier to actually use. Not so much Bitcoin itself, but the elements of around Bitcoin, the Lightning Network and stuff like that. It'll be much easier that way. And I reckon more people will be open to use it, but I don't think people should use it as a payment solution. I think it should be just store of value or reserve. So I think Bitcoin, if it holds its value over the period of the next 3 years in terms of going up and stabilizing, I think it'll be fantastic for the industry. Personal opinion, obviously, but I think it'll be better than ever. I think it'll be stronger than ever. I think the network will be strong. I think it'll be faster. I think it'll also be cheaper, but I also think it'll be very, very expensive to mine at that time because we've got another halving gone. So it could be interesting to see how the dynamic works with miners, essentially. So that could be interesting to look out, but that is honestly my personal opinion on that one. What else have we got? By the way, I've not checked any of these. You can tell how slow this laptop is. Come on, load. Yay, it works. But yeah, I've not done any real checks. I've removed one inappropriate question. That was about as far as went. Usually I get about 10, but one's not too bad. People must love me. PundiX or VeChain? Ooh, good question actually. PundiX, good payment solution. Point of sale, great hardware, bit of kit. It's nice. It's snug. It's nice. It's got blockchain elements of a phone coming out. It allows people to use their whole network itself, the whole POS system, whatever coin you've got. But ultimately, I think VeChain's better personally. I hold both. I'll be honest with you, I'll hold both. Hold a lot less in PundiX because I think it's a more of a riskier bag to kind of, it's at the floor, it is literally on the arse. And the supply is a lot bigger, but the supply is going to change. With VeChain, I think it's got better real application, better real, at the moment anyways, and better obvious kind of element of partnerships, which is key for success. They've got an extra head start on PundiX. That's the only difference really, but I think both of them are very, very good holds for a long term. If you want a risky hold and you want to try and get involved in something that is quite risky, always go for something with a good real life use cases essentially. What's next? Oh, it's getting faster now. Yes. Burgers or pizza? I love pizza. I'm a meat kind of guy, but I love a meat pizza. It doesn't agree with me as much these days because I'm a bit older now. I'm getting old and crusty and I get a bit fatter. But I love a burger as well. I love Five Guys burgers. I love any kind of stacked burger, really. You know, if anyone wants to take me out for a drink and a burger, I will not complain. I'll be honest with you. But pizza is probably my first love, to be honest with you. Where do you see the crypto mob in 5 years? That's a really good question. Now, for all you that don't know who the crypto mob is or what the crypto mob is, me usually, it is essentially a company that has been founded since October 2017 from Facebook group. It grew into into a Telegram group, and now it's an education platform. So we do courses, we do trading education, we do a few little trading signals, we do live Zooms, we're doing clubs around the UK. We're going to be revealing an affiliate program for online as well in the next couple of days. But yeah, basically it's a full place for education. We're going to do merchandise, we're going to do legal and tax advice as well, because 2 of the people in the team are actually accountants, so you know it's helpful. But there's all kinds of stuff to do with it. But we're not going to be just an education showdown, essentially. We're not going to be like, what tends to happen is people in a bull run tend to make a course, sell it to people who are struggling and clawing all over the place. We're not like that. We've been around for a while now. So I made the Facebook group in October 2017. Been through a whole bear market doing the same stuff, so got a bit of experience there. So it's really, really good. But in 5 years' time, well, we're hoping to do events around the country all the time, education talks, events, clubs all around the place, and be a forefront for people who want to invest in cryptocurrency and learn, but also for people if they want to run their own business, they can do it via online or via the clubs and online at the same time. So they can leverage the platform and leverage the course and speak to people, deliver content that is really, really good, and hopefully help other people whilst they're there. I always like to know what's next. It's like Lucky Dip, isn't it? It's like, what is it? Oh, it's going slow now, come on. Yeah, so I will get my laptop back on the 30th of May. It's like, ooh, it's a long time away. We'll see what happens. I've probably lost quite a lot of stuff as well. I had a lot of data on there, like my spreadsheets have gone and everything. So, oh, nightmare. Why do you like XRP? I like it because it's got a natural real use case. I know people disagree with that, but I think if anything's going to be used by the banks, it'll be XRP. The XRP protocol, the Rapid or X-Current, whatever they want to describe it as these days. Currencies that offer payment solutions at a fast rate and cheaper is always going to do very well with the institutional big money investors, because they like that sort of thing. It's proof in the pudding, really, that it works for cryptocurrency. Not everyone's going to invest in a blockchain that's really, really super fast, that's going to store sausages on it or beans. They're going to look at ones that have a real application. If they can get involved in a company that's going to make payments around the world in less than a second and cheaper than the natural system itself, they're going to invest in that as a technical side of it, or a technical giant. So that's my personal opinion on why I like XRP. It's also a FOMO bag. People FOMO into it. Everyone goes XRP for some reason. It's like, crypto's going up, XRP. They all buy it for some reason. So that's why. Personal opinion, obviously, not financial advice. Come on, come on, come on. Load. What is your opinion on Utrust? Utrust was a coin that I really liked in 2017. It was my second ICO I ever got involved in. I bought about $1,000 worth back in 2017, November time, and it did really well. And obviously, the bear market crushed it, but it's one of the ones that have been doing very, very well over the bear market. They've now got a partnership with Uphold. They've got fully regulated in certain countries. They're growing, and this could be a really good option for online sales, if that makes sense. So using this is e-commerce. E-commerce is a massive industry. Stripe, for example, totally gone off cryptocurrency. They've locked it away. They're like, nah, we're not going to touch it. It's not right at the moment. It's a big, massive gap in the market of e-commerce. Yes, we've got Coinbase, but Coinbase doesn't have what these guys have. The fees on Coinbase are astronomical. These guys could cut away the fees and have the processing on the Utrust token, which makes it better. Now,
It's a very risky hold if you're going to buy into it, but it's very, very cheap, and it's done very, very well in the previous bull run. It came out in the hype and it went, shoom, it rocketed. Got like 28 times its investment over ICO, so it's really, really well. Right now, it's way below ICO price. It could be that sort of risky bag that you can go, you know what, I like the idea of it. I think e-commerce is a good thing for payment solutions. I think if we get mass adoption, U-Trust would be the one that would probably do okay. You know, it's worth at least $100 as an investment, if I'm perfectly honest with you. I think it's got everything that is required to be good. It just needs volume, it needs members, it needs vendors, essentially. So it'll probably do okay, provided it does that stuff. Best advice for a new person like me. Who are you? Who are you? The first thing I tend to say to people who are new is invest in yourself. That is like first and foremost. Like I've already said, I do courses. I've got a Telegram group. Get involved in the industry. Don't just go, oh, and walk away. Get involved. Even if you don't have to pay for anything, you just get in the Telegram group and see what's going on. Then explore your options. If you need to do a course, do a course. If you don't want to do a course, don't do a course. But you know the risks that if you invest and you don't know what you're doing, you may lose money. You got to understand your risk, but investing in yourself is the best. I've had much more success from people going straight through the course, straight away, and then into the industry. When people bypass that and save themselves $250 or £250, whatever our course is, for example, they tend to lose that money straight away because of like, oh, let's go to BitMEX, let's do this. Oh my God, they've lost £100 in a sweep already because they don't know what they're doing, or they buy at the top. They need to understand certain elements. It is not a simple market. Any market is not simple. The Forex market's the same, stock market exactly the same. Crypto is that on steroids, essentially. So for a new person like yourself, whoever you may be, please invest in yourself. Certainly if you're new to the world of cryptocurrency, you will get burned. Guarantee. No one gets lucky in this industry unless you bought in 2014 and just held onto it. But most people knew what it was then. Most people now see the money and then they go, I want to buy it. It's a different dynamic now. It was getting faster, now it's going slow. It has its hiccups. My videos this might be a really long video, I do apologise. Bull or bear markets? Oh, that's a good question. Bull markets for me, because I'm a better investor than I am trader, personal opinion. I can trade both ways. I can trade on the 1 minute time frames, I can trade on the daily time frames. It's the same method, it's just different time frames, different speeds. I understand why people make a lot of money in the bear market, but it's a lot riskier, depending on the sentiment. Bull markets though, I've done it before. I've made money in a bull market, a lot of money, but I've also made money in a bear market. I didn't make as much in a bear market because I didn't start at the top of the bear market. That was my difference. That's one thing that I didn't do. I started halfway through it. The big gains were at the start of it when it went from bull to bear. So for me, it's hard to say, but I do like both. I love how the market changes and the behaviour of people and how their mood changes and why you can make money off it. I think it's brilliant. But I think a bull market, if you are an investor like me and you like to do research, way better. If you like to trade, probably a bear market, because this is such a volatile industry. You can just take advantage of everyone who don't know what they're doing. Simple as that, really. Come on. I really wish my laptop would work. I'm like looking at it thinking, can it please work? If you had $1,000, what would you buy? First thing I'd buy is a course, understand what to do. If you're not fully educated, that's usually the first protocol that I'll say to people. Understand what on earth you're doing. Learn how to research, learn how to invest properly, learn how to keep it safe and secure, learn everything in terms of technical side of it, of when to buy into a coin, when to do, use a Fibonacci, use certain elements of support and resistance. I would also buy, in this state of market, the trusted coins. I wouldn't go risky just yet. I have a system where I go from risky to clean to dirty, I call it. It's like, I used to be a police officer, and that's how you search a car. You used to go from, clean to the dirty side of it. You'd never go into the bonnet first and then into the inside of the car because you'll make it dirty. It's like this with cryptocurrency. You go for the tried and trusted that are near the top, that have got the good fundamentals, the good teams, the good real use cases, and you buy in at a good position. You wait for profits to come, and then you go dirty, essentially. You go down to the dark alleyways and you find them on the dodgy exchanges and like, ooh, what's this? It's cool. Before people really see it. It's like, going down the pubs that you're not supposed to go to. That's how I trade. or invest essentially, I find the little gems and I put a little bit of profit in them, so there's no risk, and I'll just see what happens. But I do research to see. I've had some really good gains from that, by the way. Like 40x on a random coin that no one's ever heard of. I put $500 in there. It made a lot of money, and just keep repeating. So if I was you, I would buy into the unrisky bags. For example, the likes of Ethereum would be a good start. Litecoin, XRP. Cardano is a potential riskier bag because it's so low at the moment, but it's also quite a tried and tested. EOS for certain hype developments and good stuff, but you know, it depends on you really. Binance coin wouldn't be a bad one. The amount of speed that Binance are growing, but ultimately it's grown quite a lot since the new year. So be mindful what you're jumping into essentially, just in case it goes the opposite way. That could happen. What do you trade on mainly now? Binance for my investment style stuff at the minute. I will venture over to Qcoin when there's some good coins coming and there's good liquidity. But ultimately, I use Bybit. There's a link down to Bybit below. Bybit's really good. It's better than BitMEX. I don't like BitMEX. I did like BitMEX, but it's too wicky. It's too much death wicks, and you can't really have the same strategy in the 1 minute time frame on BitMEX because it doesn't work. It really doesn't, because system overload. Oh god, death wicks all over the place. It's just stupid. So Bybit for me. I only trade Ethereum on there, really. I'm just growing my Ethereum, so it's pretty cool. I like it. It works a lot better. It's a lot faster. It's got a better trading stop. It's got a better stop loss system. It's got everything. Better fees as well. It's not so horrible on fees. 16 questions to go. Wow, this could be a long video. I do apologise. So if you do like my content, please do subscribe. I will do AMAs every now and again. Not all the time. Don't worry. When are clubs going live? So this is in relation to Crypto Mob. Very, very soon, hopefully. We've had some hiccups. We're trying to get accredited, okay? The reason why we're trying to get accredited because we're education, okay? We could get accredited for doing clubs and events, but we can also get it for online education. We're going through a process that it's taken forever. It is taking such a long time. So the idea was we were going to go live in March, but it's taken such a long time now. We're kind of just waiting. The reason being, we don't want to spend a load of money on marketing materials to get it reprinted. There's no point buying banners or buying certain graphics to go on certain cards. So we have got pens. Bear with me. We have got a load of pens. Yeah, cool. And stuff like that. We've got hoodies. We've got stickers and all kinds of little bits, you know, not much. But when we're going to do banners and kind of like big stuff for like marketing, there's no point, like, I'd rather have that logo on there. I'd rather have it all fully certified and accredited, and then our reviews on there and stuff. That there's no point just rushing it just for that. So that is why I said that there's going to be an online affiliate program going out soon, which has always been in the pipeline. It's just as and when, because it is quite expensive to make these in operation for an education platform. So we're getting there slowly. If you are in the mob and you want to understand when the clubs are coming out live, it will take time, but ultimately the whole plan is there. You can't rush these things. But yeah, we don't want to waste money on banners that are going to get replaced within 2 or 3 weeks, potentially afterwards. What is in your courses? Everything. Absolutely everything. So basically how it is, you got £250 for the full A to Z course, literally. It's everything. It's step 1 to step 15. Step 1 is what is Bitcoin. Step 2 is blockchain. 3 is altcoins. 4 is key phrases and websites to use, and 5's like how to buy Bitcoin. That's like the first 5. This is basically for the novice, but it gets quite technical after that. It goes into like how to research coins, what are ICOs, and you've got the stuff like fundamental analysis, mining, masternodes, and you've got random stuff like what's the random stuff? I've forgotten what it is now. Like how to buy into a coin, support and resistances, like basic like TA for people. But you've also got a full trading course, like a full trading course. It's huge, the trading course. But we talk a lot about scams as well in this, and how to locate scams, how to find out if there's a scam going on, and then obviously got phishing and wallets and stuff like that. So it's a massive element of everything. But step 1 to 14, is like the basics, what you should know. Step 15 is the big trading course. It's like 8 hours of trading. So you got 8 hours of like random stuff, like 14 different topics, and you got it all geared up to trading. So, you know, it caters for everyone. absolutely everything in it. So it's £180 on its own for the trading cost if you just want that. If you want the full package of everything, like 20 hours of content, literally, it's crazy. You've got the option of a £250, but you can buy monthly as well, so it's not all that bad. I see courses all the time with like $1,000 or $1,500 and more than that for like stuff that they do not nowhere near as much as what we do. They just do a normal trading course, like 14 lessons of this, that and the other. We go full out and beyond, and there's more content coming as well. When Lee does his content, that'll be an extra 14 lessons on the trading course. I've got IEOs to put in, STOs to put in the courses. I've also got other elements of like what's changed in the industry to add on to there, because there's obviously some realistic changes what's happening, certainly with the likes of stablecoins, so there's a lot to put in there. So it's constantly getting updated as well. Lifetime access. Why do you charge for premium? Premium's not the sort of thing that we just charge for lightly. It's £10 a month, but you get a lesson every Monday. That's got 25 hours of content in lessons alone. We've got live Zooms. We've got the basics of like fundamental research on some coins. We do trading challenges. We do a few little signals here and there. And we also have support. Support is another mechanism. Support will be changing. Now, when premium gets to a certain size, we'll take support out of there and make that a standalone thing, because it will get quite intensive. Even now, we've only got about 70 members, give or take, paid members in premium. It's a decent size, but ultimately, a lot of people are asking questions, and we do one-on-ones nearly once or twice per week with certain people. So those one-on-one times, if premium goes to like 250, 300 people, and it's like 4 or 5 times a week you're doing like a 2-hour session with people, you can't really keep up with the demand, because it will just keep growing. And it is just a one-on-one on Zoom talking, or even remote access where we take control of the chat and show certain things on their computer. So it's pretty good, it's pretty intensive, but £10 a month, that is it. It's nothing. I mean, what you get 2 telegrams as well. You get a telegram to chat with traders, and you also get a announcement channel for news, tips, hints, signals, etc, etc, etc. Nearly at the end of this. No, we're halfway. Sorry. Hope you've had a cup of tea, and I hope you pause this video and you carry on watching this, because this is a long one. I dread to think what the rendering's going to be like after this. It might take all day. Is it a bull market? I think it's a start of a bull market. It's a start of a bull cycle, not the bull market as much. I think the pullback's here. Pullback's happened. It's got to pull back then go. It usually happens like that. So I think the fundamentals and the sentiment of the world at the minute in cryptocurrency is quite bullish. However, it's not fully in concrete yet. We've got to test these supports. If these supports hold, it will confirm the new bottom in. Then we'll see what happens there. But we've got halving coming up for Bitcoin in May 2020. Then we've got halving very, very soon, August 19. So there's certain elements of fundamentals that are quite good for the industry to show that this is a bull rise again. Obviously, personal opinion, not financial advice. Do not put your house on it just yet, because Bitcoin could come down to 6.4 in a flashy. What happened to Blockport? Oh, Blockport, yeah, right. So Blockport, they completely failed. There's no two ways about it. They came out at the wrong time. It was actually a really promising idea, a project that would do okay if it got backing, funding, and users. It was an exchange that was going to be like Coinbase really, but for altcoins with it. So it's going to be like a supercharged Coinbase and cheaper as well, but it just didn't have the eyeballs. They went to do a fundraiser and it completely failed, an STO, and they've had to scale down massively on their production and what they're doing. So it's a bit of a shame really. I had high hopes for it in terms of long-term future. I think if it held off, but I think it came out at the wrong time. If it was released about 6 months before the bear market started, it would be totally different, because it would have had a lot more revenue. They would have had a lot more income from users using it. Just a shame it happens. A lot of companies will die in bear markets. It's just one of the unfortunate things. So that's why you should always make sure you do research. What do you margin trade on? Just covered this. I use Bybit more than BitMEX. Personal opinion, I think it's just a lot better. There's always one that's fast. There's always one that's slower. It's like, oh, come on. I think it's just because the computer is not as powerful. I'm buying your course soon. Any tips before I get started on what to buy? Cool. It's good to see that you're buying it. Any tips before you get started? Just learn as much as you can. Learn as much of the course as you can and feel confident. Always look at charts. Always look at the market. Always watch and see what's happening. Once you understand that what does what, or what to look for in a coin if you're an investor, you'll understand how they move. So just learn. Learn as much as you can. And once you feel confident, start buying. You're in no rush. This market isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. Even if you pop up to 10k Bitcoin, you've still got altcoins to invest in. Doesn't really matter. You just sell your altcoins into profit in Bitcoin and you keep growing your Bitcoin for free. Biggest fear about crypto? Idiots. New people. That is honestly my biggest fear. The reason why I say that, right, is because the market sentiment is really escalated in terms of how it works. Now, everyone, I've already said it before in this video, that new people come in, they'll FOMO, and it'll cause an issue with the bear and bull markets. I reckon we'll see a much bigger increase in the bull market this time, when we have one, over the last one, because more people will be fully aware of it, and they're like, oh my god, it went to 20k last time, let's go for it. And it goes way above 20k, for example, it could, and the biggest crash that will happen after that, because people will just take the money out, and the fear and FOMO that will happen will just create the market cycle all over again. It'll go bubble, pop, again. It will. It's obvious, really. So because the market is so small, the biggest fear is new people coming in, the FOMO. You can't see FOMO. It'll just happen. It'll just grow, pop, and then it'll go, oh my god, I'm not touching cryptocurrency again. It'll recover again because the same people will come back and buy at the highs. I know it's going to happen. I've already seen it. I've seen it where people bought at 10k, they sold at 3, and then they've rebought back in at 6. Why would you do that? But it happens, guys. It does it. So my biggest fear is new people on FOMO. Let the market grow naturally, please. Quite a few fears, really, but they're the two obvious ones. What is your dream situation with crypto? Mass adoption and usage. Personally, I've always been a believer in it since when I first knew of Bitcoin. Didn't invest until like a few years after that, because it was like the riskiest investment at the time. Honestly, it was. When you look at what the time I was looking at it and I eyeballs on it, it was when Mt. Gox was like just about to explode, and it did. So I was looking at it then. I joined the Air Force, and then I kind of forgot about it for a while. Came back a couple of years later, and it's totally changed. And even now, 3 years after that, it's totally changed again. So yeah, I've been around a while now. A lot's changed, but I think a store of value for Bitcoin would be perfect. Main adoption, not even mass adoption, just main adoption, where there's an alternative of using cryptocurrency to pay for stuff. I think that'd be cool. And obviously, you know, companies using blockchain technology, I think that is going to be a fundamental step anyways. I think it's safer, it's better, and it works. So for me, I think it's just natural progression now. I think we're already there. My dream situation really is full-time. I'm a full-time crypto geek, so you know, it's pretty cool, really. Do what I love for free, kind of. I make money. Cloud token, oh god, yeah. It's not decentralized. It's controlled by puppets. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's this, that, and the other. A lot of people don't like it, anyways, and a lot of people like it and use it. I don't know why. Whatever you put in this, you don't get any credit for. Literally, it is theirs now. So you give them money. They take it, and then they say they're going to make it by trading or arbitrage. It's usually bollocks. So be mindful using anything like that. You should never risk any money in an exchange that you do not hold the keys to. Obviously, Binance is an example. It got hacked. You only risk what you're willing to trade on that. Same with your own, like, other investments. With this, people are trying to like put all the money in to grow as much cloud token, which is a mythical thing. It's not even on an exchange. It's got a fake value. It's a complete scam. It's BitConnect essentially. That's all it is. Just worse. The website's horrible. Neo, Ontology, Litecoin, or EOS? Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I would say Litecoin and EOS for the short term. Neo, long term, could be a popper. Could go bang again. But that's my personal opinion. I think Litecoin long term as well. I think if you buy Litecoin now, I think in 5 years' time you will be really happy. I think it's a 4-figure coin. That's my honest opinion. I think with the halving and the inflation model within it, it's like Bitcoin in a way. With the difficulty adjustment and the halving, it's going to do well. usage will obviously back that, and it's faster than Bitcoin, it's got better block sizes, etc, etc. So I think Litecoin long term would be fantastic as well, but I think short term EOS announcement on 1st of June would do okay. Litecoin as well, halving. Ontology and Neo 3.0 is coming out soon. Ontology I don't know much about in terms of what's happening development wise, but ultimately I think they're all good investments long term. They've all got the fundamental elements that are quite good with it, but I think Litecoin is probably the winner on that pack. If you want safer anyways. Nearly there, guys. Is your Telegram free? How do you get free tokens? Yes, it is free. Check out the link below. It's completely free. There's like 510 members now, whatever it is. And if you say you're new and you're from YouTube or whatever, I will give you some Expire tokens. Expire is a really good token that I really rate. I know the team as well. Business Solutions, it does about STOs. It's got some of the biggest brands in the world using, with it essentially, so it's going to do very, very well long term. It just hasn't had a test of time of information given out to the world because it's been in a bear market ever since it launched. So it's one of those risky bags at the minute, but I think long term it'll probably be one of the top ones out there in terms of business solutions, financial management, and STOs and hedge fund management advice, etc. So it's one of the financial coins. It's definitely worth a look, anyways. But yeah, join the link, and I'll see you in a bit. My group, that's come up 3 times now. Come on, Brave, sort your advert out. If you could choose one to use. Hold on. Let me read that again. If you could only choose one to use before entering a trade, would it be FA or TA? Oh God. So for me, if I'm trading margin, it is just TA based only, because I'm trading on the 1 minute time frame, the very short time frame, to get in the trend in the short term, in and out with leverage, get some nice little gainage. If I'm entering a investment style trade on the daily time frame, the 12-hour or the 4-hour time frame, where I look at fundamentals, it would be 100% lat. I do not look at the technical side of it. I do a bit, but more often than not, the fundamentals and FOMO takes over. For example, halving on Litecoin, if you said, well, let's just buy it at $40, it was no effort at all. It was already in the trend, it was doing okay, and fundamental hype was building, and now look at the price of it. Same with TA. You could have seen that he was going to go into an uptrend, and you just follow the trend. It's done very, very well. Ultimately, people get drawn in too much on TA and they don't look at the fundamentals. They'll go, oh, it's going to come down to a short position. Oh, what? News. Off we go again, son. It just happens. So for me, always take an eye on the FA more than the TA in some elements, certainly if you're going longer term. How many projects do you think will fail over the long term? A lot. A lot will obviously come into the market, but I think a lot will fail. I think about 70% at least will disappear and vanish off the space of the earth as complete flops, maybe more than that. There's a lot of coins that we don't actually see. When we look at coin market cap, they're like the licensed, regulated type ones, vetted essentially. So they're the ones that people can see. There's some crap on there as well, but ultimately I think a lot of coins will just vanish. At least 80% minimum. 70% an unrealistic target, but I think a lot will vanish off the space of the earth. Personal opinion. What's next? There's not many left. Been some great questions though, when you think about it. When did you learn of crypto? It was 2013 roughly when I learned about Bitcoin. I learned about Bitcoin and blockchain at the time. It wasn't the greatest time to be in it because it was FOMO period then, and I only knew of it because I was exchanging stuff, and I got asked, do you take Bitcoin? I was like, what? What's this? Had a look that night, and I kind of seen it venture around in the internet forums on internet marketing, because at the time I was actually building a football website, so I was looking at how to grow it, SEO sort of stuff, and I saw Bitcoin mentioned a few times there, so it was like, I'll have a little look. So that one conversation with someone said, do you accept Bitcoin, or do you want Bitcoin back? I was like, what? What's that for? And then I went onto the online marketing forums and started seeing more and more of it. I looked a bit deeper, so yeah, I learned of it then. I knew all about it. I knew what it was ages ago, and the fundamentals of it was kind of, I'm not sure I wasn't. When you looked at it, you thought there's a lot of things happening. It was a lot harder to get hold of back then. You had to mine it yourself, and I didn't have the setup to do anything like that. I didn't even have a decent computer back then. I just had a crappy laptop that was horrible. And what tended to happen after that was the obvious, really. I joined the Air Force. I got involved in it like 2 years after that when I was bored. And from there on, from 2016 to now, I've been balls deep in it. So there you go. It was a good decision to get back into it. I got in way before it got into 4 figures, which was quite good. But we all know what's happened now. Really good time to buy. And there's a lot of experts that are popping up from 2018. Literally like, oh, I'm an expert. I've been in the market for 6 months. Go away. You don't know anything. Oh, I've already answered that question. And that one. Why is it duplicated stuff? What's this one? If it's never duplicated, it's index. Oh, there we go. Another beginner one. What do you recommend for a beginner? Education. Invest in yourself. Do not be scared to learn. Learning is the best thing you can ever do. And I think that's it. Ta-da! Awesome. So that was good. I know it took a long time. It's a long video. But ultimately, you got to learn a little bit at least. Spade's a spade with me. I'll tell you how it is. Whether you're learning or not. Check out the links below. I know this is a random video. I will do this from time to time, but the video questions were quite good, but I do apologise for the laptop. It is not the greatest in the world. I do apologise for video recording. It's a good laptop, it's just a bit sluggish. It's a very extensive thing doing screen recording, so there we go. So I'll see you on Monday. I'll see you tomorrow, essentially, and we'll do something learning, some awesome stuff, and we'll get back to it. And hopefully, very, very soon, my laptop will be back and working.